Welcome to Trina Talk. This is the podcast where guests share their stories of pursuing their passions, living a fulfilled life, and empowering others. Each week, I talk with inspiring leaders, business owners, and people with amazing stories from around the world in unscripted conversations as they share their successes and failures. This podcast is all about empowering you to keep striving in your personal and professional life. I am your host, Trina L. Martin. Welcome, Gina, to Trina Talk.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
All right. So everyone, thank you for joining us. This is a different episode of Trina Talk. I've done previous episodes like this, but this is my Make It Happen series. As you guys know, I am a co-author on the anthology, Make It Happen. And I have been presenting my fellow co-authors of the anthology on the podcast so that you can get to know more about them and be inspired by their stories, because this Make It Happen anthology project, it is going to be fire. Has
Absolutely.
Some great authors who are part of it. And today I'm speaking with Gina Hitchens. She is one of the fellow co-authors as well. So we're going to talk to her, and it's just going to be great. So stay tuned and sit back and get ready. So Gina.
Yes.
So before we kick it off about Make It Happen, tell the listeners who you are and how you have become this Gina that you are today.
Okay, thanks. Yes, I am Gina Hitchens, and I am a speaker, trainer, financial planner, and coach. And my sole purpose, I just absolutely am encouraged and inspired to use my unique voice and share my story and the hopes of inspiring and empowering women, particularly towards long-term financial security. That's my purpose and my passion, inspiring that financial confidence.
So that's great. I mean, because we all need that, and especially, well, everyone, but I know there's a lot of women, and probably more so previously, but a lot of women who are married and may have been married for long periods of time, and their husband took care of all the finances. So if they get divorced, or God forbid their husband dies or something like that, a lot of times they're left feeling lost because they don't know what to do. So I think that's very important to have that financial literacy and to teach that, and also so that we can pass that on to our children. So it's very important. But let's get into this anthology. So
Absolutely.
For those of you who don't know, the mastermind behind this anthology is Kern Cherry. And if you guys remember, I had Kern Cherry on Trina Talk. She was episode 88. She's the queen of getting butts and seats, connecting people, and all of these great things, you know. So she has put this anthology on, and she has picked 30 amazing authors. Gina is one of them. So Gina, tell us, why did you decide to become part of this project?
Because I've always had this passion and this story inside of me, and it has was in there, was just laying dormant. And I knew that my voice and my story needed to be heard. So when I was introduced to Kern through the Success Women's Conference, I was a speaker. And then when the opportunity presented itself, I just had to say yes. I just had to say yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I'm so glad that I did.
So what does Make It Happen mean to you?
To me, Make It Happen means to go for what it is that is inside of you, that you have birth, that you need to give birth to, and resist all fear, lay fear on the back burner, and just go for what you know is in your heart and in your soul and in your spirit that needs to go forth. So Make It Happen is just to make it happen. Don't worry about fear. Don't worry about past regrets, and let go of what coulda, woulda, shoulda, and just go for your purpose and your calling. Walk with divine destiny. Make it happen.
Wow. So, what is the name of your chapter? And tell us a little bit about it.
Okay. My chapter is Smart Women Finish Strong, with a subtitle of Start Strong, Stay Strong, and Finish Strong. But one thing I like to say about my working with women, often people say, why women? And it's just because by nature of women, we are the teachers, the leaders, we have influence in our families and in our community. So a financially empowered woman will lay her and transfer her financial wellness and her financial acumen to her family, her husband, and her children, and therefore transforms the whole community. So my chapter is Smart Women Finish Strong. And it's just talking about the different struggles and the challenges that women face and why we need a financial plan. So when the realities of life are approaching us or an opportunity of a lifetime is presented to us, we can have the financial confidence and the wherewithal to be financially secure to make it happen.
Wow. That's a great impact that you want your chapter to have. I love it. It's so powerful. It's something that, like I said, everyone needs. But the fact that you hone in and you specialize and you're talking to women, I think that's very important. So taking that on, I want to know, with this chapter and with just everything in life that you've done and that you are still going to do, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want my legacy to be a legacy defined by dignity, independence, and choice. And I just want to have my cup to be so overflowing that I can be a blessing to others. And I want my legacy to be that of financial wellness. That's what I want my legacy to be known as. My vision is that again, I go back to women, but and I say smart women and the men that can appreciate a smart woman. How about that? And yep, a man that can appreciate a smart woman. I just want us to have our life defined by choice. We create wealth and use our wealth to expand our passion, enjoy our dreams, and live a life on purpose and make that significant impact on family and community. And that is what I want my legacy to be, that of passing financial knowledge.
Wow. So, are you a previous author? Or is this your first time authoring a book?
This is my first time authoring. I've been a financial planner for 30 plus years in a male dominated industry. So, in that capacity, I've met several successful women who are confident in their own lane of expertise, but financially speaking, not so confident. And particularly once the challenges or the opportunities of life was thrown at their front door. So I've had conversations with women in all capacities of life. So that sort of put me into the financial planning and the coaching realm. And so this is my first time as an author, and I have two collaborations coming out, but it is definitely on my heart and soul to do a solo book project. So with that, I'm going to have to dig deep inside and again make that happen.
So how did you feel with doing this anthology and actually putting pieces of yourself in a book? Because to do a book, you have to give of yourself. So how was this experience for you?
To be quite honest, Trina, it was a vulnerable experience. It was a vulnerable experience. As I said, I've always been passionate about working with women, talking about when the realities of life are thrown upon you, and got to the point where I was, I guess, preaching to the choir. After being married for many, many years, I found myself financially responsible for my own financial livelihood as a result of a divorce. And through that season, I had to be quite honest, I had a little season of financial insecurity, and that wasn't comfortable. I guess with the majority of my life with two income suburbia and all the trimmings that come along with that. So now I'm thrust upon solo Gina with a self-employed business owner, and that wasn't very comfortable. But after digging in and knowing what I needed to do, to turn my solo finances around, then I just had to share that story because the principles are all there. People always think it's like a magic bullet or a magic pill, and it's nothing magic. I guess the only magic is becoming very intentional about wanting to make a difference and transform your life. So it was a vulnerable experience, just to put it mildly, But sometimes we have to realize that our story and our experiences that we go through need to be voiced to inspire and encourage others.
Yes.
So, yes. So
And
let's just say it feels very comfortable being in that financially secure position. Very, very comfortable.
yes, and our stories are not for just us. They're for us to
Absolutely.
share with other people. So exactly. Yeah, that's a great story. So we're doing this podcast. There's going to be some
Mhm.
people who are going to listen to the audio. There's going to be some people who are watching this video. The book hasn't come out yet, so they haven't gotten the book just yet. So, what do you want the people who are watching you and listening to you? What do you want their takeaway to be from hearing you and seeing you today?
I really want the takeaway to be to stop and slow down and make plans for your financial future before the need arises. Again, like I said, a lot of people are financially confident. They work every day. Many women that I talk to are very successfully employed. They have corporate career positions, and because of that, they don't slow down to create a plan and a strategy for the opportunities or just different life events. So I want the main takeaway to be to stop when things are good, to just plan for it. Because let's just face it, Trina, sometimes, even if it's not a result of a divorce or a death of a spouse, your plan could be that you enjoy what you're doing and you plan to be there and retire, plan to be there continuously, no plans to cut your employment short. And then all of a sudden, unbeknownst to you, situations come along and you find yourself without employment. And the COVID is a perfect example. A lot of people lost jobs, not if they didn't plan to. Titles were eliminated, or some people just are very gainfully employed, but they are financially unfulfilled and they really want to connect to purpose. And in order to connect with purpose, what's really stopping them is how they're going to position their assets and their money so they can continue to maintain their lifestyle. So my whole takeaway is to plan for opportunities to live life on purpose.
Wow. Amazing. Just such an amazing takeaway. And I think that's
Mhm.
something that will serve everyone well, is a great takeaway and things for people to really heed and open up their hearts to, because we all know, yeah, finances are very important.
Mhm.
And like you said, this pandemic has unfortunately taken jobs away from some people, but still, you still need to live and you need to survive. So you have to learn how
Absolutely.
to pivot and take that and still turn it around to be financially stable so that you can have a livelihood and support and take care of yourself as well as your family.
Yes, yes. Go
Yeah.
back to maintaining that lifestyle. And a lot of the women that I talk to be quite honest, Trina, they enjoy a very active and fulfilling lifestyle. And many of them, I'll just be honest, many of them are not cheap. We like nice things, and I am all for nice things, but it's just finding that balance and just being able to maintain your lifestyle. So again, that goes back to maintaining a life defined by dignity, independence, and choice. And I always say, whatever that means to you.
Wow, great. So before we end this call, Gina, tell the listeners how they can connect with you, your website, if you have anything going on. Just give them the whole rundown.
Yes, I do. I've launched an initiative, Smart Women Finish Strong, and it is a financial and an empowerment focused forum for success oriented women who use their unique voice to share their stories of inspiration and encouragement to inspire other women. And I am on Facebook with that, Smart Women Finish Strong. But the best way to reach me is on my financial planning website at ghgfinancialplanning.com. But I would love for you, the audience, the listeners, to join my community. And that is a bit.ly link at bit.ly slash smart women plan. And that could just connect you with my community. And I would just love to hear your story of encouragement. And for any listener that has a story of resilience and a strong finish, I would love to have some conversations to get you in the community and share your story and share your voice, because that's what it's all about, is a collaborative circle of success-oriented women wanting to make a difference.
Wow. Well, Gina, thank you for taking time out of your day to be on Trina Talk. Thank you for being a co-author on this project, because I'm so privileged and happy to have met you and learning more about your story, because we did an interview a few days ago together.
Yes.
And I'm just happy to know you. But thank you for taking time out of your day.
Okay, I was hoping to hear a little bit about your story, Trina, but
well, I could tell it. I was making it all about. I was making it all about you today.
Circle.
Well, for those of you who don't know, I'm part of the book, and my story, my chapter is called "Pressure Pushing You into Purpose." And not to give away the chapter, but oftentimes we go through things in life, and it takes us to places. Sometimes it pushes us, and sometimes we're under some pressure that we don't know whether we're going to be able to come out of it and sustain. But a lot of times, when you get through it and you look back, you realize that pressure was pushing you to a place where you needed to be to fulfill your destiny, to be in the right place, to meet somebody, doors was opening, whatever that case may be. Even if that pressure closed a door for you,
absolutely,
another door would end up being open for you if we just stood back and looked. And I wrote that because there was a time in my life, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, I was in a real dark place, very dark. I had fell into depression. I was even like thinking about, like, is my life even worth living? And it was all from pressure from a job. I had this, I don't even want to call him an attorney, because he was a sorry excuse for an attorney, but I had problems with him. And it just seemed like everything, I was being hit from all different angles. And I just didn't understand. And I remember, sitting and asking God, like, why is this happening to me? Why am I going through all of this? I'm a good person. I do well. I treat people well. And it wasn't until I came through that and start looking back that it pressed me and it pushed me to get up on stage to be an international speaker. I'm an entrepreneur now. I'm taking my skills just like you, Gina, and I'm using them, one, to coach people on leadership, and I'm teaching and helping businesses get secure communication technology so that they can operate. So what I thought was my how my future was, and this job that I had, that I thought, okay, this is going to be great, is leading me into retirement, and then I'm going to be set. That job ended up being one of the worst choices I made, and it stressed me out, and it had so much pressure coming to me. But that pressure pushed me into me going after my destiny and my purpose, which is to be an entrepreneur and to help other people and do the things that I'm doing now. So
that is interesting. Yes.
Yeah, so that's my story.
Okay.
And that's what I have in the book. But yeah, so
you're definitely the type of woman that I come in contact with in my financial planning business. Like I said, they're financially, everything's good. The work on the outside looks wonderful, but on the inside, it's just like totally unfulfilled, and it takes you to a dark place. And that's not a good place to be.
No, not at all. And that's where I was. I was in such a dark place. The job was unfulfilling. I was being attacked on every end. But then you think, well, I have this job. It pays me decently. I got benefits. I'll just endure it. And that's when all the pressure started happening. And then I realized, I said, this is not my destiny. This is not my destiny. Go through it. And I don't care how much money they're paying me. This is just, it's not worth it. And sometimes we have to stand back and we have to look at that and say, just because I'm making a certain amount of money, but I have all of these other things that are hitting me, is it really worth it? And I decided that my mental health, my health of being with my children and being present, and me
Yes.
just fulfilling my destiny, I was like, this is not worth it. So, God works in mysterious ways. It's very funny how things turn out, because like I said, I thought that this job was it. I was like, ooh, this is the bee's knees here. This is it. And yeah, no, it wasn't it. But what I'm doing now in this podcast, this is what fulfills me. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
totally, yeah. I can't wait to read everyone else's story. But Gina, I thank you again
Okay. Thank you
for
for having me.
being
I
on the
enjoyed the
show.
conversation.
I enjoyed it. So you have a great evening.
Thank you. You also.
Thank you for watching Trina Talk the Video. I hope you were inspired and motivated. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe so that you can be notified whenever a new video comes out. If you're unable to watch the video, don't forget to go to iTunes and listen so that you can listen on the go wherever you are.